Okay, here we are with Eternal Devotion once again, and this time we're running up against Eldrazi Tron. This is our opening hand. It's got Devoted Druid, Wild Cantor, Commune with Nature, Adventurous Impulse, and a Mishra's Bauble. Looks pretty good. We've obviously got one half of our combo and ways to find the Vizier that we need. And these are Urza's Mine. Gonna fetch up a Temple Garden and Adventurous Impulse here. And we managed to find the Vizier that we need, so that's great. We're just going to run out Bauble here as well. Control the card. Find another Devoted Druid and an Ancient Stirrings. Run out Devoted Druid here. It has Tron, natural Tron, which is kind of annoying, but has all of Dust as well to get rid of the Devoted Druid. I'm going to Adventurous Impulse, finding Hall of Bandit Lord, and pay out the second Devoted Druid. It has a Matter Reshaper but no follow-up play, which is obviously very nice for us. So we're going to be able to cast Vizier here. And Ancient Stirrings manages to find us the Walking Ballista, so that's all we need. And we're just going to be able to combo off here. So despite our opponent's very early mana, still going to be able to win here on turn 4. So we're just ticking up to 40 mana, well 42 I think, just to keep the ballista alive, just in case that's necessary. And then we can just ping our opponent to death, which our opponent's going to make his play out. I mean, we hadn't found the Walking Ballista with the Ancient Stirrings. Obviously we had a lot of other ways to get there. Got this Commune with Nature, we can draw a card off this Horizon Canopy, got Manamorphose as well, but unfortunately that wasn't necessary, and yeah, we get the turn 4 win here. So let's go into the sideboarding. Okay, here we are with the sideboard. So the Artifact Destruction is very good here. Reclamation Sage, Dissenter's Deliverance. I think Ito's original list runs 2 Reclamation Sages. I only own 1, and it turns out they're quite expensive now, oddly enough. So that's the only reason I'm not running a second copy. Probably should do, because there are a lot of artifacts, and some of those packs can be used to search up Reclamation Sage. Pithing Needle is one of the big problems, as that can turn off Devoted Druid and/or Walking Ballista. And then you're basically out of a win condition. So it's very important to be able to destroy their artifacts. So that's useful. Pact of Negation doesn't seem very good in this matchup, so I think we also want to bring in Path to Exiles to get rid of Thornot Seers, etc., and other big threats. So we probably want to bring in our removal here. But otherwise, I think the main deck's fine. Another card that's an artifact that's difficult is Walking Ballista. Opposing Walking Ballistas are quite annoying because obviously they can ping off Viziers and Devoted Druids in theory, so I've got to watch out for that one as well. But yeah, as I say, we want to bring in the artifact removal package and possibly some removal spells as well, or some number of Paths to Exiles, taking out Pact of Negations, and we can maybe mess around with some of these other cards as well. Yeah, I think that's probably the best idea for sideboarding against Eldrazi Tron. Okay, so here we are with game 2 against Eldrazi Tron. This hand seems pretty decent. We've got Triple Traverse, which is nice. We've got Street Wraith, Bauble, Horizon Canopy, and we've got the Vizier. This all seems very good, and we can probably get to Delirium fairly swiftly. One of these with Eldrazi Temple into Expedition map, we'll get a cycle of Street Wraith, and the second Street Wraith, finding an Ancient Stirrings, crack off the Bauble, which reveals Summoner's Pact on top. I suppose we could have waited for that, but we do definitely need to find our second land, so I think it's probably better just to get this Ancient Stirrings off and find our second land. Just going to get a normal land rather than the whole of the Bandit Lord, so we can cast our spells. I don't know if that was necessarily the right idea. Maybe we should have taken the hole and sort of pushed into a traverse devoted druid play. So play with Vizier, we're here with haste. Oh, not with haste, sorry, just in general, so it's ready. And then we've got this Summoner's Pact that we can find Devoted Druid with next turn if it was allowed to live, but unfortunately our opponent has Warping Whale to get rid of it. Our opponent's turn, they Expedition map for another Eldrazi Temple, and they also have a Needle, which is going to name Devoted Druid. I cycle my Street Wraith. Adventurous Impulse finds a land. I think we wanted the land more than we wanted the Devoted Druid there. So we can get this Summoner's Pact going, so we can Summoner's Pact for Reclamation Sage. So here we're going to traverse, oh no, so we can Summoner's Pact, so we can traverse for Reclamation Sage rather. So we're going to get the Reclamation Sage here with Traverse, and we're going to get the Devoted Druid with the second Traverse. I just thought about here, which takes the Reclamation Sage, which just putting us in a bad spot. As I say, I only had one Reclamation Sage in the deck. It should have been two, so that did make life a lot worse for us. Otherwise, we would have actually been able to traverse for the second Devoted Druid and then blow up the Needle here. Instead, we're going to have to run out Devoted Druid and hope we survive till next turn. Fortunately, our opponent has Reality Smasher, which can attack and then finishes off. So yeah, we certainly paid the price for not having the second Reclamation Sage there, because we could have ran that out, destroyed the Needle, then blocked the Thought Not Seer the following turn, and then played a hasty Devoted Druid. Would we have enough life? 5, 6, 7. Oh, well, actually, we wouldn't have been able to play the hasty Devoted Druid. So yeah, I suppose either way, we're in a bit of a sticky situation. There might have been a route in which we could have won there, but yeah, it didn't quite work out for us. And yeah, Reality Smash is certainly not the kind of thing we wanted to see there at the end. Unfortunately, that came down and finishes off. Otherwise, we were still in with a shout in this game. As the next turn, we would have been traversing into Vizier, and should have been able to get the win from there, because we could have Summoners Pacted for the Duskwatch Recruiter. But yeah, unfortunately, didn't quite work out for us there. Okay, so here we are, game 3. We've got Vizier, Lunge, and Adventurous Impulse. I'm not sure how good Lunge is in this matchup, actually. Maybe we should be cutting that as well for something more useful. I'm not sure how often they're actually going to be putting our creatures into the graveyard necessarily. Warping Whale kind of annoying as well from their side. Lead off with Hall of the Bandit Lord. This is a good use of our mana. We're going to give Vizier haste here and just run it out. See if we can combo as fast as possible. Just going to get in for 2 here. Plays Urza's Mind. Warping Whale takes away the Vizier, which is irritating. Adventurous Impulse finds a land. Just going to fetch up here. Ancient Stirrings finds Horizon Canopy. So we're in a little bit of a tricky situation. We haven't got Delirium for this Traverse, and I'm kind of running out of cards. Also, our opponent plays Walking Ballista, which is very annoying for us. So going to sack the Horizon Canopy, draw a card, find a Street Wraith, Mishra's Bauble. It's going to draw us another card following turn, and also gets us to Delirium. We're just going to search up a Devoted Druid with the Traverse. Puts that for 1, and then pumps the Ballista up to 2. So now it's capable of killing our Devoted Druid if necessary. We are going to cast a Devoted Druid, Traverse for Vizier. Could we have done that differently? I'm thinking on that turn maybe we should have hasted up the Devoted Druid. Traversed for Vizier. I suppose. I don't know. I think I was probably just being cautious with my life total at this point because I just didn't want to die to. I just didn't want to die to our opponent playing another creature essentially because he does have an answer on board for our creatures. Unfortunately, I was trying to be a little bit cautious with our life total. Attacks, pumps up the ballista, goes up to 3, puts us down to 5, which puts us in a very tricky situation. But yeah, in theory we could have won the other turn, but it would have forced our opponent to use the ballista. And we would have lost 3 life by using the whole of the Bandit Lord, so I suppose this preserves our life total a little bit. I suppose not in any significant way, so maybe we should have just went for it. So Communing with Nature, found Street Wraith, which isn't awfully useful because we've not got a lot of life that we can afford to use up. Opponent's going to be able to kill off the Vizier here, attack us for 1. And then plays a Matter Reshaper. Yeah. So now we summon as Pact, we can get Reclamation Sage to kill off the Walking Ballista, but then we've still got a bit of a problem. Walking Ballista is going to kill off the Reclamation Sage. We're on 4 life, which is a big problem. And yeah, I feel like we could have played this match a lot better. In hindsight, I think there were ways that we could have played this and tried to force the combo. We probably should have seen the Summoner's Pact Reclamation Sage play as well earlier. Anyway, our opponent attacks with 3, has another Walking Ballista, which obviously very problematic, and that can kill us off. So yeah, I think this game probably could have gone differently. I think there's probably areas where we could have played this a little bit better, and maybe we could have won this match. This game, but I'm not sure entirely what the best line was. It was kind of tricky. And yeah, Walking Ballista, very annoying. Warping Whale, also quite annoying. They've got Needle as well, so there's quite a lot of difficult cards. I think this matchup is certainly winnable, but yeah, they do have a lot of irritating cards, certainly post-sideboard as well, that make our life quite difficult, and we really need to sort of capitalise on our artifact destruction cards to deal with them. So we do have answers to their the problems they pose, and obviously there's always the opportunity that we might just sort of combo off early and catch them unawares. But yeah, trickier than I'd hoped, I think, all in all, this matchup.